Another Knicks season is upon us, but things are going to be looking a little bit different this time around because we've got a new coach, we've got new ownership, we've got a lottery pick for the second year in a row, ostensibly should be part of the Knicks core. In today's video, I'm answering the 5 biggest questions leading into this Knicks season. How's it going, guys? It's Troy. Sub the channel, turn on those notification bells, make sure you like this video too. If you're a Knicks fan, I think you're gonna love this video because I'm giving you my opinion on what's gonna happen with the Knicks this coming season and some of the biggest questions that I've been batting around in my head. This is a new era for the Knicks. Not a single power forward was signed, and I think there's gonna be optimism in New York. So I need you guys to tell me in the comments what you're excited about for this Knicks season. The first question is, what impact are the Knicks rookies going to make? So we've got 2 main rookies that we're concerned with. Obi Toppin, aka Ob-Top, aka Obi-Wan Top Nobi, number 8 overall pick, and Emmanuel Quickley, aka IQ, aka Manny Quick. We'll get to him in a second. But first, Ob-Top. This guy, he is a beast. He's been getting comparisons to Amari Stoudemire, been getting comparisons to Aaron Gordon, maybe even Blake Griffin a little bit. This guy is so athletic. His offensive game is on point. He can throw it down by the basket. He can dunk it like crazy. He can stretch to the floor. He can shoot some threes. He can get some rebounds. He can block it a little bit. His defense isn't always the best, especially because he does have some issues when he's moving laterally, so that does limit him defensively a little bit. But I like him in a lineup with somebody like Nerlens Noel or Mitchell Robinson because those are pretty strong defensive players who can help offset some of his deficiencies in that area. I also like him off the bench with Kevin Knox. I think they can kind of learn from each other, complement each other pretty well, especially on the offensive end. And as we saw the other day in that preseason game, they can kind of develop a good rhythm between the two of them. Then you've got Emmanuel Quickley, who was drafted in the 20s after the Knicks made that trade for their later first-round pick and their second-round pick. He's a Kentucky guy, and he can really shoot it. He's also gotten praise already from head coach Tom Thibodeau about his ability to shoot the ball and also some of his defensive instincts. But in college, shot 43% from 3, over 90% from the line. Manny Quick is a 6'3 guard, but he has a 6'8 wingspan, so he can play much bigger than his position. Maybe you could even play him at small forward from time to time, but he's a solid defender. I kind of see D'Anthony Melton vibes when I look at him, but also a better shooter. Question number 2 for the Knicks this coming season, who is going to be the best free agent signing that they did this offseason? So all these free agent signings, not a power forward in sight. They signed Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, and Austin Rivers. MKG, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, he is another Kentucky guy, former number 2 overall pick, doesn't have much of a shot. He is all defense. Nerlens Noel, another Kentucky guy, former lottery pick. He's played for Philadelphia, played for Dallas, played for Oklahoma City. He had a good first couple years in the league, especially as a guy who could act as a rim runner, but also get deflections, get some steals, get some blocks. He's more of a backup now, though. He fouls a ton, but he hustles, he tries hard, and he's not that bad on defense. Alec Burks is a 2 guard. He's a veteran shooter. He's coming off a career year that he had with Golden State and with Philadelphia. He can be a good guy on their second unit. Then finally, you've got Austin Rivers, and I think he may end up being the best free agent acquisition of this offseason. Would not surprise me even if he starts at the 2 guard spot and they move RJ Barrett to the 3. Remember, he's a coach's son, Doc Rivers, who is now the coach in Philly. But this guy adds shooting to the Knicks team, adds some toughness. And there's also that established relationship that he has with Tom Thibodeau. Because remember, Thibodeau was an assistant coach with Doc Rivers on that Celtics team that won a championship and then also went to the finals again. So he has a little bit of insight into the type of player that Austin Rivers is. So the next question is, what will RJ Barrett show us this year? Because think of it like this. Is there a second-year player or maybe just another player in the entire league that has more pressure on him than RJ does this season? I don't have to tell you about RJ. Number 3 pick last year, had a nice career at Duke, but as a rookie, really didn't show a whole lot. He had bad shooting. He had poor decision-making. Did not really look like you would expect a number 3 pick to look like. But then you have the other side of the coin. You'll have people saying, well, he was just 19 years old. He still averaged like 15 points per game. If he improves his efficiency and his playmaking, he can be a 20 to 25 point per game guy. I see both sides of that argument, and I think this year is going to answer a lot of questions about RJ Barrett. The next question, who is going to get traded from this Knicks team? I know when we say trades, we automatically think Julius Randle, who I think is going to start at power forward. Big reason for that, I think the Knicks want to showcase him in a potential trade. I think they want to show that, okay, maybe even though he's not the best defender, maybe even though he doesn't have the greatest long-range shooting, he can still help a team. Maybe we can get a late first-round pick for him, maybe a couple seconds, maybe a young player. Remember, he is on a non-guaranteed contract for next season, so Julius Randle is basically expiring, and I think that there will be some teams that are trying to make a playoff push who could use his extra 12 to 15 points per game, especially off the bench. Remember, the Knicks did something similar last year with Marcus Morris. When they traded him to the Clippers, they were able to get Mo Harkless and also a late first-round pick in that deal. I think Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., or Kevin Knox, maybe all three could potentially get traded. Probably not all in the same deal, but maybe in a deal where you could get back a couple second-round picks, get back an exciting player. And finally, what is the Knicks record going to be in the 2020-2021 season? It would surprise me if the Knicks win more than 20 to 25 games. I think the only worse teams than the Knicks, definitely Cleveland and potentially Detroit. But if Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose show us something, then I think Detroit could even be pushing for that playoff spot. So in that case, you're looking at the Knicks to be 14th in the Eastern Conference. But that would bode well for the Knicks in the lottery, because this draft class in 2021 going to be one of the strongest that we've seen in many, many years. You've got Cade Cunningham, you've got Jalen Suggs, you've got Jalen Green, you've got Jalen Johnson. Lots of Jalens in this draft, and they're all really good. You've got Evan Mobley, you've got BJ Boston, another Kentucky guy. Lots of different directions the Knicks could go to add to that core of Ob Top, RJ, and Mitchell Robinson. Guys, that's what I think, but let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen for this Knicks season, and what are you most excited to see when the Knicks take the court for real later on this month. If it's your first time here, make sure you are subbed up to this channel. Make sure you like this video as well. When you do that, it really helps YouTube in promoting this channel, and it helps me out a ton, and I would appreciate it. That's all I've got for today's video. This is Troy with the Half Court Report, and I'll see you next time.